saw a client recently who has seen three other therapists, and one of those therapists was a certified sex specialist. And this client was upset because he and his wife were not having sex. He felt bait and switched. Plenty of sex before marriage, almost immediately after, no sex. And I hear this a lot. And I don't want to generalize this too much because a sexless marriage or a low sex in a marriage is complicated. There's lots of reasons why this might be happening, but sometimes it's just not as complicated as we want to make it. And let me give you an example. So in this first session, within 20 minutes of talking to them, I got this feeling that this is another situation that I've seen quite frequently. And that is where one person is not emotionally safe in a relationship. There's a lot of anger. And the other one starts to pull away sexually and other ways, just cuddling, affection, emotional intimacy. So here's what I want to say about this. Almost every person who's angry, especially men, I don't know why, but almost every angry man that comes up in therapy doesn't think he's all that angry. It's not that big a deal. His kids may flinch. They may be afraid of him. His wife may lock herself in the room when he's upset or feels like she's walking on eggshells throughout the whole relationship, but he brushes it off. They're too sensitive, or he had every right to be that angry. But listen, if you're not emotionally safe in your relationship, you're going to pay a big price. So let's talk about what emotional safety does not look like. So if you've got these things going on, whether you're male or female, if you've got these things happening in your relationship, it's not an emotionally safe space. You get angry, from full out cursing, raging, throwing things, hitting the wall, to the complete and total silent treatment and disregard and everything in between. And God forbid there's physical abuse, but sometimes that as well. You have a really critical nature. You're judgmental, you mock, make fun of, and judge the people in your family, your spouse, and they don't feel safe around that. Nobody likes to be judged. You may be angry and spiteful 1 minute, and then when you're called on it or you have remorse for something you've said or done, then you immediately go to the flip, which is, I'm such a horrible, terrible person. I don't know why you'd be with me. That's not safe. When you pout, when you don't get something you want, when you tell people outside of the relationship things that are going on that either make your spouse feel like they are getting thrown under the bus or you're making them look bad. When you're controlling about money, nobody thinks they're controlling about money, but you're controlling about money. If you can go spend whatever you want to spend without any kind of consequence or explanation, you don't even have to tell your spouse. But if your spouse spends money that you don't know about, you might have a fit about that. And then the last one that comes up for me is you get mad when your spouse doesn't want to have sex or be affectionate. You get really angry about that. Just that you feel personally rejected. And instead of dealing with it like a grown, mature, relational person, you get mad and have a fit about it. I get angry people in my office all the time, and they want to argue with me and tell me it's not that big a deal. It's not affecting their relationship, or their spouse is too sensitive. And I tell them the same thing I'm going to tell you. You don't have to buy what I'm selling, but this is costing you. And as long as you keep showing up this way, you're going to keep paying the price. There are things you can do. Learn relationship skills. Learn how to get what you actually want in a relationship. These spouses that are stuck in marriages like this, where they're unhappy, they start to become miserable and resentful. They may not leave, but it isn't because they want to stay. They may be afraid to go. They don't want to break up the family, but they're withering inside, being married to somebody who has all of this stuff going on in the relationship. If that's going on in yours, reach out, get some help today.